I still remember the day I met him. It was one of those perfect autumn afternoons, the kind where the air is crisp and the leaves crunch under your feet. I was sitting in my favorite coffee shop, buried in a book, when a voice pulled me out. "Is this seat taken?" I looked up, and there he was, Mark. He had this incredible smile, warm and genuine, and eyes that held a depth I couldn't quite place. He was older, maybe by 15 years, but the connection was instant, electric. We talked for hours that day, about books, about travel, about our dreams. He was a successful architect, worldly and intelligent, but also incredibly down-to-earth. He listened to me, really listened, in a way no one ever had before. I was a young artist, still trying to find my way, and he saw something in me, a potential I hadn't even fully recognized in myself. It felt like I had found my missing piece. Our relationship blossomed quickly. He was the perfect gentleman. We'd go on long drives along the coast, have candlelit dinners where he'd cook my favorite meal, and spend Sundays exploring art galleries. He supported my painting, even helping me set up my first small exhibition. My friends were a little skeptical at first because of the age gap. "Are you sure about this, Lily?" they'd ask. But I'd just smile. "You don't know him like I do," I'd say. "He's perfect." He was private about his past, and I respected that. He mentioned he had a daughter, roughly my age, but that their relationship was complicated. He said they were estranged, a painful topic he preferred not to discuss. I felt for him, imagining the hurt he must carry. I never pushed for details, assuming that in time he would open up when he was ready. I was so in love, so wrapped up in our perfect world, that I didn't see the little red flags, like how he never wanted to meet my parents, always having a convenient excuse, or how he tensed up whenever I talked about my family. My mom had been telling me for weeks about this new online course she was taking. It was a local history class, and she was absolutely fascinated by it. One evening, she called me, buzzing with excitement. "Lily, you'll never guess. My final project is a presentation on local architects who shaped our city, and the professor assigned me this amazing guy, Mark Anderson. His work is incredible. You should see the houses he's designed." The name hit me like a physical blow. Mark Anderson, my Mark. A cold feeling washed over me. It couldn't be a coincidence, could it? "Mom," I said, my voice barely a whisper, "what does he look like?" She laughed. "Oh, honey, he's very handsome, even in the old photos. A bit older, distinguished, dark hair, kind eyes. Wait, I'll send you the link to the class portal. His bio is on there." My hand trembled as I clicked the link she sent. The page loaded, and there he was. It was a professional headshot, a bit more formal than how I knew him, but it was unmistakably Mark. I scrolled down to his biography. Mark Anderson, a celebrated architect, is a proud father to his daughter, Dr. Jessica Peterson. My heart stopped. Jessica Peterson, my mother's maiden name, my mother's name. The screen blurred as tears welled in my eyes. It wasn't possible. My mom wasn't a doctor. She was a retired teacher. But then I kept reading. The bio was from 10 years ago. It mentioned his wife, who had passed away, and his daughter, who was, at the time, just starting her medical residency. My dad wasn't an architect. My dad was a history professor who passed away when I was 10. His name was Daniel Peterson. Suddenly, everything clicked into place with horrifying clarity. My mother, Jessica Peterson, had remarried years ago. The man I knew as my stepfather, the man who had raised me, wasn't my biological father. My mother had never told me. Maybe she thought she was protecting me. And Mark was my biological father. The man I had fallen in love with, the man I was building a life with, was the father I never knew. The world tilted on its axis. Every memory, every shared laugh, every intimate moment was suddenly tainted. twisted into something monstrous. He wasn't just an older man, he was my father. The reason he knew so much about me, the reason he seemed to understand me so deeply, it wasn't a soulmate connection. He was watching his daughter, the daughter he'd been estranged from, and he had let this happen. He had to have known. I confronted him that night. I walked into his apartment, the one where we had shared so many happy memories, and I just stood there, holding my phone with the biography page open. He saw the look on my face and his smile faltered. He knew. Before I even said a word, he knew. "Lily," he started, his voice thick with a regret that was years too late. The whole story came pouring out. After the divorce, my mom had moved away and cut off all contact. He had spent years trying to find me. He'd finally tracked me down a few months before we met at that coffee shop. He said he just wanted to see what his daughter was like, to be a part of my life, even from a distance. But then we met, and he saw a chance to know me, and he was too weak to resist. He never intended for it to go this far. He said he fell in love not with a stranger, but with the woman his daughter had become. His words were just noise, an excuse, a betrayal of the highest order. How could he watch me fall in love with him? How could he hold my hand and kiss me, knowing he was my father? The man who was supposed to protect me had hurt me in the most unimaginable way. And my mother, her lie, born from a desire to shield me from a painful past, had inadvertently led me into this nightmare. I walked out of his apartment that night and never looked back. The aftermath was a wasteland. I had to face my mother, unravel the secrets that had defined my entire life. The trust between us was shattered, and rebuilding it has been a long, painful process. As for Mark, I never saw him again. The love I felt for him curdled into something I still can't name. It's a phantom limb, a pain that aches in a place that no longer exists. Healing isn't a straight line. There are days when I feel fine, and days when a song or a scent will send me right back to that coffee shop, to the moment my life split into a before and an after. I had to learn to redefine love, family, and trust from the ground up. It's a journey I'm still on, a story that is still being written. But I am a survivor. I took the broken pieces of my life and started to build something new, something that is entirely my own. My art became my salvation, a place to pour out the pain and confusion. And slowly, color by color, brushstroke by brushstroke, I am painting my way back to myself. Thank you so much for listening to my story. It wasn't easy to share, but I hope it can help someone feel less alone in their own complicated journey. If you connected with this, please consider liking and subscribing for more stories. Take care.